Hey, this is Henare from the United Empire. You're listening to the Okada Shorts podcast. Crowns up, boy!
So, Curtis, I got to tell you, there's nothing that really fucking gets me in a good mood for starting an episode of Okada Shorts quite like fucking equipment failure. That doesn't send me into an absolute paralyzing rage when I have mere moments before I need to be asleep. That doesn't fucking send me like you haven't seen. It's done it to me once before. It's this particular USB cable that I know is a problem, but I ain't had time to deal with it. So we're just going to have to run again. If you stop talking, we know what it is now. It did to me once before and cost me an entire episode with an interview.
Oh, that's fucking garbage.
Yeah,
but you know
it made me mad then too.
You know what gets me amped though? Is that part in the song where it goes, meow, meow, meow. He does those
that bit is good. That did bring me back. I got to tell you, that did bring me back. Well, what I had said on the previous fucking recording before we lost it was, don't worry, everybody, we haven't done the entire episode, otherwise I would just quit the show. But we had basically touched base on, we're not recording a DYS for our lovely Patreon listeners this week, or did we last week? Sorry, things have been rough. And also I've been a bit sicky the last couple of days. And our mate Curtis is about to fly out to Portugal. So we're going to hit G1-dering like we always do, like the shorts always do, one episode for every night of the G1 because we like to fucking hurt ourselves like that. And then we'll do an extra long one for everybody as we get towards, the end of the G1-dering finals and everything like that. How's that sound? It sounds fair?
It's going to be great. We got some things cooking for the middle and the end of the G1, some special things that might be on the horizon. So you'll have fun with it. It'll be great. You're going to get tons of episodes, literally an episode per night. Yeah. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I can't wait to see till we get into the dregs of like night 7, night 8, night 9. I can't wait to see who goes to jail. Dude, it's going to be fucking fantastic.
Dude, when I was breaking it down earlier tonight, I was conversing with my wife and we were kind of talking through some of the scenarios, and I was like, it's fucking open season in the G1 this year. It's so hard to predict what is going to happen. So I, for one, can't actually wait. So let's jump straight into it because I am going to fucking there's just so much to talk about and we don't have our entire lives. I do want to make a quick fucking honorary mention to the stupidness of strong pay-per-views and how fucking hard it was to even just find where those Independence Day shows were. Like, I even watched the Super J-Cast in real time doing what I did. Where is this fucking piece of shit? Live on YouTube? Not there. Let's have a look through Fight. Nowhere to be found. Guess it's only on the fucking New Japan site for like $30 or whatever. It was just an absolute nightmare. So speaking of people going to jail, fucking New Japan Strong, go to jail.
I fucking hate that, dude. New Japan of America shows, okay, yeah, they're booking these big guys in America. They've got to pay for the venues and stuff like that.
I don't care.
We've talked about it multiple times, but like New Japan of America shows are always pay-per-views. Okay, cool. What about a New Japan of America show in Japan? Yeah. We still have to fucking pay for that shit too? Yeah. God damn it, dude. Go the fuck to jail.
And don't you want like people to watch these fucking talents? Like, don't you want them to fucking pay money? Like just actually see them to then pay money to see them? Like, yeah. Anyway, we're not going to go on an entire tear.
You've got your Netflix subscription, but you have to pay an extra £10 to watch fucking Stranger Things. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no. Also, speaking of people to go to jail, Netflix for fucking charging you per screen like absolute dogs.
What?
I mean, that's the thing they're doing in Australia now. I don't know if it's a thing. So, I mean, admittedly, we're doing the wrong thing
right
because we all trade account details, right? Like my I should do it. Do I say this on the fucking air? I don't know. Anyway, everybody fucking does it. I don't care. We can't anymore anyway. So she paid for Netflix. We had something else and she got that, you know, quid pro quo.
Yeah.
But then Netflix locked down on it. So like if you're in a different IP address or whatever, like on your TV, it's like, are you on holiday? What are you doing? You only get X amount of screens or you got to pay extra for it. So you can't even
Not today, ISIS. You don't get to fucking know where I'm at.
Yeah, you can't farm out your fucking subscription services to your friends anymore. It's fucking daylight robbery. It's horrible.
Eat shit.
Eat
fucking bastards.
Eat literal shit. Exactly.
Eat a bag of shit and lick that bag.
I know, it's fucked. Anyway,
can I talk about RevPro real fast?
Oh, yes, please.
Just a couple of things that happened at RevPro. So the first great thing that happened at RevPro, fucking Tom Lawler debuted for RevPro.
Oh, that's fun.
It's the first time I've ever gotten to see Tom Lawler live, so that was the fucking shit. We had Zachy showed up and had a fucking technical masterclass with Jordan Breaks. Jordan Breaks is, for anybody who's ever seen English wrestling legend Johnny Saint, he is Johnny Saint 2.0. He is the second coming of Johnny Saint.
There you go.
He and Zach put on a fucking hell of a show. Came down to just masterclass in submission wrestling. The next thing that happened, Will Ospreay came out to fight a young man named Leon Slater. Leon's 19 years old. Wow. He's friends with Maloney. So Will is looking at taking 10 fucking lashes out of Leon Slater to get to Maloney for something that happened in New Japan, which is fucking awesome. Great competitive match. Leon Slater is phenomenal. And Will did end up beating him with the Storm Driver. The fucking head Tiger Driver 81.
Yeah.
Sure did. And afterwards continued to like beat like 10 shades of shit out of him. Maloney wasn't so announced to be there. Maloney did show up and go after Will. Will got on the mic and said, if I can get to Leon, I can get to you. I'm in your fucking head. I'm in your fucking walls. Cope and seethe, you know, that sort of shit. And then fucking Maloney picks up Slater and fucking puts him in the Drill-a-Kill. And he's like, if you can't hurt my friend, if he's not my friend anymore, fuck you. It was goddamn awesome. I literally was like, what's going on? Maloney's a fucking nutbag. And then finally the Great Okan, all hail, who has never been beaten. He's never been submitted or pinned on the island in the United Kingdom ever. Submitted last night to a fucking half Boston Crab from the OJMO, Michael Oku, who is the new Rev Pro British heavyweight champion. Yeah, dude, it was a fucking hell of a match. I was legitimately fucking torn. My wife said, you know, my wife, huge Oku fan, huge Okan fan. You know, who are you going to go for, darling? She said, I think it's Michael Oku's time. I was talking to Sipsy, a friend of the show, Sipsy. What up, Sipsy?
What up, Sipsy?
Sipsy said that he thought Okan was going to retain because they got the big anniversary show coming up in August. No, neither. It was Oku's time, and it was a hell of a match. It was a hell of a match. A little bit of Western wrestling, like managers on the outside and big bumps, and there was a bit of walk and brawl and stuff, but it was entertaining as fuck. No one's got charisma oozing out of their ears like fucking Michael Oku does.
Yeah.
He's hell of a show.
He's good. I like him a lot.
He's so good. He's so good. Yeah. Great times at the old Rev Pro York Hall show.
Absolutely. So, it sounded like a wicked time, and I was real jealous when you were laying out that lineup for me. Maybe that's something that we'll cover a bit more in the old DYS as time goes by.
Oh,
maybe.
I like that idea.
Yeah, exactly. Give you a chance to rant on about it.
Yeah, that works. That works for me. But yeah, it got me. Speaking of the G1, I walked up to Okan after the show. I said, "Hey, bro,
you better win this.
Sorry,
bitch.
You lost your title, but here comes the G1. Let's fucking go. And he seemed pretty amped for getting the G1 started. So
he was like, I had to get that anchor off me, and head for the fucking the world title. That's what's up.
Yeah, I can't have this baby belt. I got to have the real belt.
Exactly. I love it. Well, let's.
Maloney dropped the fucking IWGP Junior Heavyweight belt like just out of arm's reach. I was trying. I was like, I gotta grab it and just fucking go. I gotta run out of York Hall with this fucking belt, and it was just out of arm's reach from my seat.
Have I held that belt, or was it the tag belt? I'd have to have a look at the picture. Hang on, it's probably on the wall. When the Young Bucks came here, they were one of the IWGP titles. Hang on.
They only won the heavyweight once, I believe.
Yeah. So no, I think it's the junior title. Yeah, I think I've got a junior title and a Ring of Honor tag title in that photo. Yeah. Oh, it was the junior titles.
But yeah, I was trying.
Hot.
And of course, Will had the big red belt with him, which was gorgeous, beautiful.
It's an interesting belt. Yeah, we'll talk about that red belt because it's an interesting wrinkle in this tournament, I think.
I know.
Yeah, because it's like I sort of have my sort of predictions about where Will would go, and then every time I think I know what's going on, I think about that big red bitch, and I'm like, but what's that doing there? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll get to that. Should we?
And have we finally accepted the fact that Will is now the mid-card guy in the United Empire, and it's Okan's time. It's Okan's time to be world champion.
Well, I mean, he is the leader, and they all know it, so that's totally fine. Well, let's go ahead. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we just run through the blocks, thoughts on each participant, then go through best case, worst case?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Or should we do our thoughts on the block and then best case, worst case for that block, and then move on to the next one?
Yeah, we could do that, and then do all the quarters and semis and stuff at the end. Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So let's break it down.
A block.
Hit me.
All right. So the A block looks like one of the more storytelling blocks here. It's the young man's block.
Sonata and the kids.
Yeah, Sonata and the kids. You've got starting at the top is Sonata, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Sekai Heavy Q Champion. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on Sonata currently?
He's definitely Sonata.
He is definitely Sonata. Yes, that's
true.
True.
Don't give a fuck about him, really, if I'm honest. I think he has had 1.5 good matches since I've been watching him, and that is yet to change. So I do think they're on the slow burn with him, and I do like what they're kind of doing, with the guys, with this sort of like crafty Sonata where he's thinking about his opponents and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see where she goes.
Okay. Next up, Shota Umino. How do you feel about Mr. Tumnus Pants, like you call him?
I like Mr. Tumnus Pants. I think we're going to see some cool stuff from Shota. I don't know if he's in the running to win this block, but I think you're going to see like a pretty healthy showing from him. Do you think we're going to see Bad Boy, BCC version of him here, or it's like Tumnus City?
I'm sure Tumnus City is Bad Boy version of Shota Umino. I don't think that there is a Bad Boy version of
It's like what we said in that other show where it's like you don't even know how badass he's got to be to like hang out with those dudes, but we're wearing that shit. Like they're all afraid of him at that stage.
Yeah, he's ride or die fucking Shota Umino.
Yeah,
fucking they don't care. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna rob a bank. And he's like, cool, let's go.
It's like when all the gangsters are afraid of like the rich pimp on the block, like he's got this like big fluffy white coat and shit, and everyone's like, who's this motherfucker man? They're like, yo, don't even play with that guy. Like, don't even fuck around. Yeah, exactly.
That's Silky. Silky will stab you.
That's what it's like. Okay.
All right. Next up, speaking of bad motherfuckers, how about Ren Narita? How's our boy Ren looking coming into this G1? You think he's going to make some noise?
This is such an interesting block because everybody's so unproven in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many new names that's hard to fucking say. I think it's going to be like a real fucking You know how that block last year was just like, I think it was D block, was just like the shit show block where everybody was like so tired. Like, there's no real status quo here. So I think with like the exception of like Sonata and probably Suji, like I don't think there's going to be, and Kiyomiya, I think Kiyomiya is going to do really well, but I think you're probably going to see like Sonata and Suji being really dominant, all the rest scrambling together, and then we'll talk about our finalists and stuff like that, and then I think you'll see Kiyomiya get through just on like the numbers, like the correct wins to get through that.
That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Speaking of Yota Tsuji, how is he looking coming in? I mean, we've seen him come back. We've seen him have some really impressive moments. He's been anywhere and everywhere, just fucking psyching people up. He looks like a season arc anime villain.
Yeah,
is what I saw on Twitter. People are saying like he looks like a dude who would be your nemesis in high school. You know, the cool guy.
Absolutely.
Is that enough to carry him through to a G1 block win?
I think there's a real chance there is. I feel like all that presentation and everything and like the dominant performance he put on against Sonata, I don't think they're going to waste that. Like all that goodwill. They created a monster that day, and I think they're going to continue on that path. Like, I don't know if he's winning the entire G1. I probably wouldn't go that far, but I think he's going to put a fucking hurting on a lot of the people in this block. And like in a pretty like fucking, I don't know, fucking who's like Diesel. I don't know. I'm trying to think of big men kind of way, American badass take. I don't know why I'm thinking all the worst big men examples of all time, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's just going to.
Psycho Sid Vicious and
stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. He's just going to be like really kick shit through people. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win a G1 block because people can eke out wins and everybody can kind of get out pretty unscathed, but I think he's going to be really dominant.
All right, next up, speaking of dominant, speaking of big guy, Bahikuleo.
He can't wrestle, so I'm not really worried about him that much.
Ouch. You're on that one. Damn. Okay. Cool. Moving on.
I mean, he can. I just don't care, man. I just don't care. I wish I cared. Give me a reason to care, Hikuleo. That's all I'm saying. Like, he kicked Jay out of Japan, and then it was just, like, never to be heard from again. Like, what the fuck's up with that, man?
Well, he became strong champion after that.
Oh, wow. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care. Nobody cares.
Eddie Kingston does.
He cares a lot, more than anybody should, really, but that's fine. I think that his match with Jay was really, really good, but also Jay is really, really good, so I just think I think there's an opportunity here for him to show something, and it's going to be him like against other really athletic young guys, and so he's going to need to show something here. I feel like this is a huge sink or swim block for him because he can very, very, very easily look like shit. Like,
yeah, that's going to be the litmus test, right? Like when you're going up against Shota Umino, Ren Narita, Yota Tsuji, Gabe Kidd, Kaito Kiyomiya, young dudes, all under 27, 28 years old.
Yeah.
All of them are finally making their come up. All of them have fresh new personas and move sets and everything like that. And you're world champion in that block. You can make some noise. Put up or shut up time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And like 3 of them, the company just went, these are the new musketeers of the company.
Yeah. What do you think about putting all the new musketeers in the same block?
Yeah. The musketeer thing was pretty funny, I thought, stirring up all that shit. But I think it's interesting. Like everybody would have said it. They would have thought this would be the Okada block, right? Just him kicking shit out of all the kids. But instead they've put Sonata in there. So it really is such an interesting block because everybody in it's completely unproven. So yeah, I don't even know what to think about it.
How about Chase Owens?
I think Chase Owens has been put in there as the steady hand of the block, to be honest. Like,
definitely. He's got the ability to carry anyone who doesn't feel up to snuff.
Yeah.
I think that Chase Owens is going to be a guy that you will see good matches out of night in and night out. Yeah, he's gonna be just fine in this block.
Mhm.
Showing the kids around.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about kids? Speaking of kids, how about Gabe Kidd?
Yeah. I've been loving all Gabe Kidd's shit talking and everything like
Dude.
that. So I think he's going to be definitely the most vocal in the block. That's for sure.
It feels like this is the longest we've gone in a while without Gabe Kidd having issues, and it feels really good. It feels like maybe he's on the right track.
Yeah, it feels like
and we can see some real fucking noise come out of Gabe. I love that. I hope he's doing well. As someone who struggles with mental illness myself, I feel like the dude, I feel for the guy, you know, and I feel like he's finally on a good, he's in a good place. And it's and now in his working life, he's in a good place, at least as far as we know. And he's gonna be somebody fucking special here in a minute, because like he's got a lot of things to prove.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be great. And finally, Kaito Kiyomiya coming over from Pro Wrestling Noah. Is Kaito getting a win over Sonata, and we're gonna have a big cross-representational championship match? Because last time we had a dude from Noah, and we had Marufuji. Marufuji beat Okada in the G1 and set up a big cross-promotional match for the title.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what he's there for. And I was speaking with it about Amy. She was like, you know, we'll talk about how deep Kiyomiya could go. And you know, obviously all the talk with Okada and how hot that rivalry was and how hot those fights have been. And she was like, but is that enough that you would see a Noah guy go that deep so they could get to the point where they fought against each other? And I was like, maybe it is. You know, it was really hot. It was really talked about. And it's also an opportunity for maybe New Japan to give a little bit of goodwill back to Noah, because they, you know, they've mostly been take out of the relationship. And, you know, maybe the whole deal was based around this, you know, seeing him go quite deep and giving him the ability to shine. Did you, I was listening to Super J-Cast today, and they were talking about that statement that the Noah press guy made about Kiyomiya. Did you hear that?
No, please.
Oh, he was just basically like, they were like, are you worried about Kiyomiya not being, you know, at your big show because he's in the G1? And they were like, look, we're not trying to be like a mom and pop shop that just like, you know, caters to everybody's whims. You know, we're trying to be a bigger company. And, you know, would it be great if that show, you know, was sold out with people wanting to see Kiyomiya? He's like, yeah, it would be, but it isn't, so it doesn't matter. It's basically the long and short of it. So it was kind of like, he ain't shit, we don't really care.
That is the most confusing fucking statement I've ever heard.
I'm paraphrasing, but to give you the vibe, that's kind of
no. Like even paraphrasing that, like that's worked on, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's the way that they're supposed to. They've probably had people sitting there thinking of how to answer this question for weeks, you know, and you can paraphrase that answer, but like you should be able to take that answer that they've been working on for a time and paraphrase it down and have me understand it. I don't fucking understand that.
Yeah,
I don't understand that at all.
I guess.
How do you like
the paraphrasing?
He's not here, so fuck him.
Is our ACH shit? I guess.
Okay, hey Kiyomiya, how's that fucking contract looking? When's that up? Come jump ship, man.
Well, maybe that's something. But yeah, either way, it's interesting. Just interesting, like what they're doing and whether that's, you know, designed to make you feel from him even more, or, you know, place seeds that maybe he doesn't want to be with that company, you know, things like that. Who knows? Yeah,
they're gonna, maybe he doesn't, because like they definitely don't want young dudes being their fucking champion. And
they're like, come talk to us in fucking 20 years, kid.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, cool. Although wasn't Jake Lee their champion for a bit? I don't remember. I don't watch Noah. Who gives a shit? Yeah, so let's move on to the B-boy.
So dismissive of Noah. We're like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? It's Kaito Kiyomiya and a bunch of old men and Jake Lee, I think. Yeah. That I shouldn't talk like that. That's not how it is. That's not what I think of Noah. I'm sorry. Masawa in heaven. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah. No, that's fuck. Jesus.
Look,
Kenta's going to go back and win the GHC.
he probably will. He's freed up now.
All right. Let's go. Let's go worst case scenario for the A block. Give me a thought.
Worst case before best case.
Worst case, because remember the worst case scenario always bums us out at the end of the fucking show.
I don't know. My worst case this time is kind of the best case in a very evil way. So I'm not even worried about it. I think you're going to have a good time with it. But for this particular block, worst case finalists: 1, Sonata; 2, Hikuleo.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see that coming.
So. Oh, I didn't catch that one. No. So worst case scenario is your block winner Sonata.
Is the champion of New Japan Sonata. Write that down. World heavyweight champion, IWGP heavyweight champion Sonata.
Oh no. So let's go A block. Best case scenario. Who do you think would be the winner there?
I've got Tsuji and Kaito Kiyomiya. 1 and 2.
Oh, Tsuji Kiyomiya. That's actually really good. Okay. Next up, we're gonna head on over to the B block.
Are you gonna have your own best and worst case, or are you just gonna let this fucking garbage fire play out on my head?
Man, I don't know that I could see one worse.
How about I'll lay them down, and then if there's anything that you majorly disagree with, like if you're like it would be a way better case if it was this or whatever, we'll discuss it. How about we'll do that? That way you don't have to go through and do everything.
Come up with a better one than that. That sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Even like if it was Chase moving on could have a good match with somebody.
That's
like Hikuleo. Man. I hope he does good.
Yeah.
I hope he proves me wrong. But he reminds me a lot of a baby deer when he's in the ring. Like he's not really steady on his feet.
He's not quite there. Should we isolate that audio for the fucking preview of this episode where it's like, Rafe, what's your worst case scenario? And I'm like, IWGP heavyweight champion Sonata, and fucking get that one fan arter fucking pissed off again.
Oh man, that fucking guy. That guy is gonna come after you.
Yeah, he can go. Bring it on. He sucks. All right, so G1 Climax B block.
Now we said Sonata sucks, not the fan. That guy, we don't know him. We don't know if he sucks.
Oh yeah, no, I know nothing about him. You can support whoever you want, and I actually respect anybody that fucking goes to bat for their dudes. That's awesome. But Sonata still sucks.
This is all like wrestling opinions. Like
some
dude liking Sonata doesn't mean that everyone has to like Sonata. That's your boy.
No, and I've actually got some friends that are fucking all about him. I'm looking at you, we work stiff, but I'm still not all the way there.
Oh, come on, be honest. Nobody looks at We Work Stiff.
They do. They got a whole Discord and everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And us. We listen. We love you guys. All right.
We do love you guys.
Next block.
All right. Showtime's over. We're back to kayfabe now.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
Starting with Kazuchika Okada in the B block. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, so this is where we start to get into the uncertainties, right? Because it's Okada. It's G1. You expect the best from him. But this is a different Okada. Again, like with the Sonata, we don't really know what he is at the moment, etc. He's a guy that holds a never belt and fucking beats up kids, like I do think he's going to go really deep. I do think one of the points of this tournament is his rivalry with Kiyomiya. That said, though, New Japan fucking crazy at the moment, bro. Maybe Kiyomiya and Okada don't even touch, and it's like the last night they're in a mixed fucking tag against each other and he kicks the fuck out of him again and they just set up a match for Wrestle Kingdom. You know what I mean? They don't have to necessarily fight each other in the G1 tournament. And you know what? Everybody would be totally fine with it. But I do think it's Okada. I do think he is like a pillar of this company, and I do think he's going to go really, really deep. He's so valuable.
That's a good point. I think like everybody knows I'm fucking in love with angry Okada.
Yeah.
Like this Okada is my favorite Okada since I became an Okada fan. Fucking good old Rainmaker Okada, like Rainmaker Shock era Okada was my fucking jam. Big red and purple jacket, like that was the shit. But now Inoki like black shorts Okada. Oh,
Loves it.
this is what I was waiting for, man. This is the fucking best. And I hope that we get a couple of those preview tags and maybe he can, slap the shit out of Narita and Narita can get him back a little bit, just something, give us something.
Yeah.
But this block is kind of confusing for me because there's a lot of dudes in this block that are all in the same faction, like Osprey and Okan are in the same faction, but they've got to fight at least once. Technically, like Tongaloa and El Phantasmo are in the same faction, I guess, unless God is its own faction. I don't fucking know.
It's hard to say.
But they're all.
I mean, they have their own logo, so maybe.
Yeah. Okada and Yoshihashi are in the same faction. Like, you don't normally see a lot of that. And this block is just fucking full of it.
Yeah,
so
it's another weird one.
Another weird one. How about Yoshihashi? How do you feel about Yoshihashi going into the G1?
Same way I feel about Yoshihashi all the time, really.
Get out of my life, dude. Fucking Yoshihashi.
I think Yoshihashi's going to have some good matches, and he'll have an upset in here that you didn't see coming. Like, he'll probably beat Osprey or some fucking shit like that. But he's Yoshihashi. You know what I mean? He's a tag champ. He's there to set up tag. Like, you're not going to really see him break out of this or be anything different or anything like that. So he's just a nice, steady Yoshihashi.
Speaking of, so he is a tag champion. Let's see some other people in this block that we think could set up some defenses. Looks like we got Tongaloa in this block. You think we could get a Tongaloa setting up a God versus Bishamon title defense?
Absolutely.
That sounds good. El Phantasmo doesn't have a tag team partner at the moment, so we'll move on.
Riddle me this. You probably haven't seen it because you haven't seen the Independence Day shows. But in that, our boy Alex Zane was partnered up with the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer.
Murder Hawk Monster. Yes.
And he was like, it was really funny. Right from the start, he's like, Alex, knock him the fuck out. And Alex is like, sorry, man. He says, I got to knock you out. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and then they were sort of, after the match, they were sort of pally. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of like, oh, and they maybe, like, it kind of felt like maybe we'll be back for Tag League or something like that. But then we also know that, like, El Phantasmo is building bridges with Alex Zane. Is there a potential here for a whole new faction where you see like a Lance Archer with an ELP with an Alex Zane?
I would love that.
That's a good collection of dudes right there.
Yeah, just a wild, just like anybody who's, it'd be like just five guys, but good.
Just like a band of misfits, just fucking wild dudes.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy people who come out. They've all got, fucking bad guy pasts, but they've all got, good guy futures, and they're all gonna fucking come out here and just whoop ass.
Like Lance Archer was the face of that match, and he was still knocking out young lions left and right, like the entire time. First thing he does, he's like, "Hey, what's going on? I'm back," and then just fucking floors away or something. That's just what he does. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad that we're getting some fucking wild men coming back. I really wish Lance Archer was back for the G1. I can understand why he's not. But like Lance Archer in Japan just feels right.
Yeah, he got on the mic afterwards and was like saying how stoked he was and how it was his 100th match or something like that. And he said, "You'll see us again soon" or whatever. And he was kind of talking about him and Alex Zane. So maybe there is something there.
Hope so. Speaking of people that's good to see back, Tongaloa, haven't seen him in quite a while. And he's back to hit this G1. He wasn't amazingly impressive in the G1 last time he was in it. But, I mean, how do you feel? He's in a block with a bunch of dudes who can have great matches. So, I mean, if he can't have a great match with, Osprey or Taichi or Okada or Yoshihashi, like, yeah, you're gonna have to break out and do a little bit of solo running here, buddy. But I think you're gonna have a good run.
Again, there's no hiding in a block like this, so it's going to be interesting. Like, I feel like him and Taichi could have like a really good match. We just haven't really had the opportunity to see it, and that particular G1 wasn't particularly exciting. So I have to see what he could be as this new sort of face Gorillas of Destiny character.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
El Phantasmo, ELP.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in with a new face persona,
Mm-hmm.
coming in still a man without a country.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling about him?
I'm feeling real good about him. I don't know if he's like a finalist, but I feel like he's going to have a real good showing in the block. Maybe not even in victory, but I think it's going to be a real good tournament from him. But I think we'll see some real contentions and probably like an upset or two from him. Like, takes a big scalp like an Okada or something like that. Start to legitimize his G1-ness.
I tell you, I'm circling his match with Ospreay.
Yeah,
I think
that's going to
Ospreay
be
and
killer.
him are going to have a good time.
Absolutely.
That's like closing in on the end of the tournament. That's like happening on the 6th of August.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to wait for that one, but I think that could be one that I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah,
because
that's like just before the finals, right? That's before we start getting into the finals, yeah.
How about Tai Chi, our boy Tai Chi, who we desperately missed on Forbidden Door?
Desperately. I always expect good things from Tai Chi. Again, this would be, if he wasn't in Ospreay and Okada's block, I'd be like, he could be a finalist or whatever. It's the one thing about this block is it's really hard to overcome those two names. And especially with all their history and all that kind of stuff, right? And then, like I said, though, but then you've got the wrinkle of the fucking mid-card belts that those guys are holding at the moment. So it's like, are they even in the mix this year? Because, like, Will's whole thing was like, I have a year left to fucking do what I haven't been able to do in New Japan, which kind of, to me, felt like beat Kenny, beat Okada, be the world champion, And so he's just beat Kenny. So Kenny then beat Okada and then just beat Sonata at Wrestle Kingdom? Or is Sonata even champion by the time we get there? Like there's just so...
I don't feel like Sonata's going to be champion by the time we get to Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, there's so many wrinkles in it. And so it's like who... And then that draws your eyes back to A block or even potential challenges beyond that could challenge for Sonata's belt before then. Example, so Sonata does finish as a, 1 or 2. He could then go on to verse either number 2 from Block C or, number 1 of Block D, depending how that works. So then that means you could potentially set up a challenger from either of those blocks, or it could come back around. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't need to necessarily set up challenges from A. So depending how deep he goes, the riches of who could be a potential future champion before Wrestle Kingdom even grow.
But I want it to be a challenger from A. I would love that. To see Will Ospreay versus Ren Narita at Wrestle Kingdom, or Will Ospreay versus Shota Umino or Yota Tsuji. But it's just not going to be that way.
Yeah,
it's just not. I would fucking love to see Yota Tsuji walk into Wrestle Kingdom as champion to face Will Ospreay. And you know what? 2-3 years we might.
Yeah, but not yet. Yeah,
not yet.
So
doesn't feel like it.
The other option is like, is there a scenario where, so say Sonata goes pretty clean in his block, Tsuji beats him, right? And they've both got real dominant records, but because Sonata has lost to Tsuji, he goes through. The same record, but he holds the winning record over him, he goes through. So then Tsuji doesn't win the G1, he gets a title shot at one of the pay-per-views before Wrestle Kingdom, takes it, but then immediately drops it on the next show. You know what I mean? Like there's so many scenarios, and with the way they've booked New Japan at the moment, you just don't fucking know. And it's so interesting. You
just don't know.
And that is the one thing. I will give them credit for the fucking balls it took to put the title on Sonata, because it has left everything up in the air. And I know I give Sonata shit all the time, but what he means, like what him holding it means, is interesting. Doesn't mean I like his matches, but it means it's interesting.
I can see what they're doing with him too, like having him be that ring general that's dissecting his opponents and stuff like that. But like we all know, Sonata's a fucking himbo. Like, we know there ain't much going on behind the eyes. Like, this is what they're giving.
Those are some heavily produced matches.
All right. We're talking B block, though.
Okay.
We're talking B block.
Okay. Who we got left?
So we have, did we talk about Tai Chi? We did. What about Will Ospreay? We just went into Will Ospreay
and then we went on a tangent. So to me, the whole story feels like it should be Will's story, right? Finally wins G1, goes on, does those things. But then he's got this big red piece of shit fucking hanging around his neck that I'm like, why does he have this? And where's it going?
Lay off that belt. That is not a piece of shit. It's beautiful.
I mean, it is beautiful. Look, I do like Big Red. I've got a picture of me holding it up here while we're talking about belts I've held. But it's a wrinkle, though, in the story because they're probably like he's either got to drop it, but like he's not going to. They do it a double gold dash again. And they're like, let's merge the fucking belt. You know what I mean? Like, and then when
we
this
get
joins,
we get a new belt, a V6.
And it looks like that it's red, but it's also got the wings.
Oh God, no!
See, you know what I mean? I'm like, what are you doing?
That's the worst case scenario for this fucking G1.
Oh, that is the worst case scenario. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm like, is the Wrestle Kingdom plans not Will? Are they just leading to like another Kenny thing? But they're not, because I think Kenny and Will both said after Forbidden Door that they were sort of done. So I don't know. I don't know,
man.
I don't know. And my brain is too fucking cooked to decide right now.
But you got to, it's not about plotting it out. It's about what do you want. It's not what we think is going to happen. It's what do we want to happen.
Exactly. And this is best case scenarios. So for me, I still think my best case scenario.
No, we're not done with the block yet. We're not done with the block yet.
Well, then who else I got?
Hold on.
Who else? The fucking
the great Okan, former champion of the British. All hail, bro.
That's about to fuck up my best case scenario quick.
Last night I got a t-shirt version of your windbreaker, your great Okan windbreaker.
What, the logo off the back of it?
Yeah, it's a white t-shirt with that logo on the front.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. There was another one he had there that I was this close to getting. It was a white shirt that had a stack of pancakes.
I know the one. I've seen it before. Yeah.
I was this close.
Nah, you got to get that one that's on my windbreaker. That's such a sick.
Oh, logo. Also, I got a nice pair of gym shorts.
What they're like the G1 what? Or
no, they're just Soul Sports New Japan ones, but they're like like the biggest ones he had. And because I'm a big dude, like I'm kind of a fatty, but like they're really tight on me. They're not like so tight you can tell what religion I am, but they like definitely make me feel like that episode of The Simpsons where like Ned Flanders is running around in that fucking sexy Speedo thing.
Yeah. In his
stupid sexy
suit.
Flanders.
Yeah.
Oh
well, just for home use with the wife then.
Donna kept saying last night, like, oh, it's like you're wearing nothing at all.
Nothing at all. That's funny. The new G1 Climax 33 shorts are sick.
I bet. Okay, so yes, Great Okan, fucking all hail. Like he's definitely going to be doing something special here. Then we'll move on to Kenta, and I know that you have some love-hate going with this one. How are you feeling about Kenta going into this G1?
Like his new hair. He's got blue streaks in his hair now.
Pretty cool.
Before tonight, I would have said absolutely trash. He had a pretty good match with Eddie Kingston, bro. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But a lot of that comes from like the emotion of Eddie Kingston, though. You got to give credit where credit's due, you know. And then Kenta's a good foil for that. But like Eddie was pouring on the emotion, and it was pretty special. Look, he's the night off in this block. You know what I mean? He's going to be doing the fucking hijinks and shit. He did do a hijinks that I hadn't seen before. I mean, it's probably old news for people, but I hadn't seen it. So while Eddie was distracted or the ref was distracted, he went and got his shirt, right? And as he was gathering it up, I was like, oh, there'll be like a weapon in it or whatever. But he wrapped it around his own neck. And then as Eddie sort of picked him up, he like reached back and then made it look like Eddie was strangling him with the shirt. And then the ref's like, hey. And then he's like, yo, no. And then while Eddie's getting admonished and he's getting the shirt pulled off him. Then Kenta makes his move on him, like so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Okay.
like, oh, that was kind of creative. It was a little bit different from him.
Okay. I mean, that sounds fun. It sounds like really fun, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So let's see. He's finding his way. I'll wait and see with Kenta. I'm not going to write him off at this time, but he might be pretty entertaining.
Okay. So we've now breaking down the B block. We've got 3 different champions in this block: Yoshihashi,
Wow,
Tai Chi, and Will Ospreay.
Oh, I forget Tai Chi's got a belt as well. Oh,
Tai
and
Chi's got
Okada.
that KOPW title. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the never 6-mans, like that's.
I mean, it exists and then it doesn't. Like, it just depends how they feel that day.
It used to, like, during fucking lockdown, man. It was one of my favorite titles. It was the one I looked forward to a lot. It was the Kurikan Hall, like, headliner title. But now it's going to go back to where it's like locked in someone's closet for 6 months at a time. So let's go ahead and break it down here. Who do you want to see challenge for the Big Red from this? Who do you want to see get a pin over Will and challenge for Big Red down the line?
I would hate El Phantasmo or Great Okada. I would love to see Great Okada as the champion of the Americas.
Yes.
And obviously
that's a champion we can be proud of.
Exactly. And obviously, like, Will and him are in the same faction, but I feel like that's how just United Empire do it. Like, I don't think they care. Yeah. So they're
all about competition.
Mm-hmm.
I think El Phantasmo would do great against Tai Chi in a KOPW match. I think that could be a ton of fun.
That could be cool. That could be really cool. Great Okada again. We're just so biased to the guys we like, but Great Okada and Tai Chi would be really good, and I could actually see Great Okada wearing that blue belt. Kind of feels to me like something that Kenta would sort of have his eyes on as well. Kind of likes those like weird belts.
How about this? How about Okada challenging for the US title?
Don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Maybe that would be one way that we could get the
wrinkle of Will out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
Okada could eliminate Will out of this scenario somehow and then challenge him for the belt, win it, and then Will is free of its weight to do other things.
But then how does he get to Okada again at Wrestle Kingdom?
Does Okada
or beat Okada between here and Wrestle Kingdom to continue on that I've got 1 year story?
Here we go. How about this? Okada beats him in the regular G1 Climax scenario, so he's got a win over him. Then they both come out as 1 and 2 out of the block, and they go on their different stories. Okada goes off, gets knocked out of the contest by Kiyomiya. Ospreay then beats Kiyomiya, setting him up to not only get a match at Wrestle Kingdom, but then also have to defend the red belt against Okada. Lose to Okada, still Wrestle Kingdom. But see, the only thing about that is that then you kind of put a pothole in the road, like on his road to Wrestle Kingdom, where he has to take like this like big loss before he's going for the title. But you can sell it with promos and shit like, oh, fucking, it's so hard, bruv, fuck. Oh. And then,
Bruv.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Okay. It's time. What is your worst case scenario coming out of the B block?
Worst case is going to be, it was Kenta and Tangaloa, but I've taught myself back into Kenta, so I'm changing that out. Let's go Yoshihashi and Tangaloa.
Okay, Yoshihashi 1, Tangaloa 2?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I don't hate Yoshihashi winning a block. I'm going to say it.
I do. I see. That's why he's kind of in there, because there is like he can finish as eke through as a 2 or whatever, and then you get some finalist action from Yoshihashi, and I don't need to see.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I'm not into it.
What about the best case scenario?
Best case scenario
for B block.
I think 1 and 2, Ospreay and Okada. I think there's more interesting stories to happen down the road.
Yeah, But I love my guys. I want to see Okan move on. I don't want Okan to. Okay. maybe it's
Okay.
Okan misses out, like because he gets pipped by Will right at the end. You know, when's their match? Their match is Okan and Ospreay. I hate reading these things. Shit. When is their match?
I don't know.
There it is. It's 7:25. So it's getting towards the end, but it's nowhere near the end. So I don't think he'll get pipped by Ospreay right at the end. Shit.
Do you want to?
I don't know, man.
I would accept a swap out for Okada versus Ospreay because we love him so much. I think Okada's got to be there so we can get to the dream match of Kiyomiya. But if we just wanted to, for shits and giggles, while we're talking our best and worst case, have Okada finally receive the push he deserves, I don't absolutely hate it.
And put another block in Will's way on the way to Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. And then he's got to deal with that red belt before he can, get to Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
But you're talking about, in this scenario, you're talking about knocking Will Ospreay out of the G1 before the finals.
Shit.
By
God
his
damn it.
own
This is
friend.
tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
This is a good storytelling block right here.
Yeah.
Let's go Ospreay Okada.
Okay.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right there.
And I think it will lead to better finals because of it.
Okay. And moving on to the C block.
C.
Let me finish my notes here in the notes app that I have currently in the C block. We're starting off high, up tall with the rig, Tama Tonga. The rig. He's rigged out, buddy.
He is rigged.
How you feeling about Tama Tonga heading into this? It's been a while since we've seen him, eh?
I don't feel any kind of particular way. It has been a long time since we've seen him. I am interested to see his interactions with Finlay, I think, after being essentially just completely fucking cooked by him. You know, we haven't seen him since then. So he's going to be come back firing. So is he getting a win back here? I wonder.
I'm kind of over Tama Tonga and David Finlay.
Me too.
Like,
I'm kind of over.
I like the idea of Tama Tonga as never champion, but like every time he gets the belt, it's taken off of him right away.
Lose immediately. Exactly.
So,
do we care about Tama Tonga at all?
Yes,
I
think Babyface Fire Tama Tonga is fucking awesome. But I want to see him do something.
I'd like to see him win some matches. For example, like win would be good because he's.
Well, I think when you look right here, he has the opportunity to throw out some fucking fantastic matches. I mean, Tama Tonga versus Ishii could be that could be rad. And Tama Tonga versus Shingo Takagi could be fucking awesome. Versus Hinare is going to be awesome. Eddie Kingston's going to be awesome. David Finlay, we'll see. And then there's Evil. So
and Mikey Nichols. Don't forget fucking Perth boy Mikey Nichols.
I would never forget Mikey Nichols.
Unproven.
I'm looking at Mikey Nichols is a tag team wrestler to me in my brains.
So it's hard to rate them as highly. I understand. But I think this is going to be really interesting, actually, seeing TMDK in this as singles wrestlers in these next two blocks. I feel like there's something that's kind of hard and completely unproven to know what they're going to be because they haven't really done any single stuff in New Japan. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, I mean, Mikey has, but back in the day. But you know what I mean, since they've kind of come back and restarted TMDK. So, yeah, I think Tama has the opportunity here. It's a game like this G1 is so sink or swim for me. Like, it's like, oh, well, got to show it.
So, next up, Tomohiro Ishii. And wow, you know what I think about? Like, Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Hikuleo, all three brothers, we've just been like, put up or shut up time for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, for all three of them.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's because it is.
Maybe there's something coming. Maybe there's something coming for them.
Maybe. I hope there is because
they could heat them all three up at the same time.
To be honest, they feel pretty stale to me. And I know they've been away, so maybe they come back with some fire and stuff, but to me I'm like, oh, were you guys gone? Like is how I feel about it. And there's so much new hotness happening. It kind of feels like a little bit of like a fucking a little bit of flatness coming into my very bubbly Kool-Aid, so to speak.
That's
so
true.
yeah, I'm hoping to see some new things from those guys.
How about speaking of people we like to see new things from? How about Tomohiro Ishii?
Big Tomo.
Big Tomo. Someone who doesn't have the same match every night, even though it's still fucking awesome.
He'll give
Always seeing brand new things from Tomo.
He'll give nearly everybody in this block their best match, straight up.
I'm sure of it, man.
Yeah, Ishii is the man.
It's going to be fire.
Again, not going to fucking win, but he's there to give everybody their best match, and he's going to do exactly that. He's the fucking man. Did I tell you about? Oh, I think I did when we were talking about the New Japan thing, but the Forbidden Door thing. But how when we were watching Dynamite and Ishii was brought out, and they're like, and our secret partner is Ishii, kind of thing. And he kicks and goes, and Amy goes, Ishii, and I'm like, and she goes, who gives a fuck? Why would they bring him out? And why is it like this big reveal? Like he's like the final boss, like right at the end. Then he immediately gets beat up, and she's like, and he's immediately getting beat up. This is bullshit. And then you hear ching, and Okada's music hits, and she's like, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
So Okada sometimes gives a shit about his Chaos friends.
Yeah, and it was just so funny from the level of unimpressed with Dynamite to the level of impressed, depending on how much Okada's on the screen. Like is the ratio.
Dude, I would tell you, like my interest in AEW would be 100% concurrent to how much Okada is on the screen. Like,
and she was like,
sure.
when the Daniel Bryan thing, Bryan Danielson, whoever, she's like,
Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, she's like, why do they think this sickly pale boy could even touch the rigged out handsome fucking jawline of Okada? And I'm like, I don't know. A lot of people think he's like the best wrestler in the world. She's like, he's not. Look how tanned he isn't. And I'm like, well, this is completely fair. And then his arm shattered like a small baby. Like in the match, he couldn't even fucking.
This is something I didn't say when we did our Forbidden Door review, but I hopped on Puroresu Twitter, like Japanese Twitter, shortly after that match, and they went fucking shithouse. How come Okada lost to a fucking junior?
I love that. But yeah, it's like maybe you should be eating some protein with those fucking drink some milk, Danielson.
No, he's vegan.
There's your problem. That's why your bones are fucking grinding to dust in the presence of the Rainmaker.
There definitely was rain in the desert.
He's lucky he didn't take a full fucking steam Rainmaker, because it would have fucking snapped his head back off his fucking body. He would have been out again.
The amount of disrespect you're throwing out this fucking episode.
You can tell it's like fucking 11 at night, and I'm just like, I've been sick as fuck for 4 days, and I just don't have time for anybody's bullshit. I'm like, I'm not really playing nice tonight. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about it. Move on.
We'll move on. God damn it. We'll move on to Shingo. How you feeling about Shingo heading into the G1?
I always love Shingo. Again, I just said Tomohiro's going to give everybody their fucking best match, but do not forget about Shingo Takagi. I'm actually really interested, because you always expect him to do really, really well. I don't know if he comes out of this block as a finalist, though. Just with seeing everybody that's around, But there's a real chance he could, because then you can fucking set up like Will and Shingo rematches in finals and stuff, and that's sick. But yeah, I don't know. They just haven't been doing heaps with him, and even at Forbidden Door and stuff. So he kind of feels a little bit down-cycled at the moment, which he shouldn't be, because he's fucking awesome.
He is fucking awesome. Yeah. And like, he's got a match with Will up on the horizon here shortly after the G1 ends. So
in Rev Pro, right?
In Rev Pro, yeah. 11th anniversary show. Mm-hmm. So I'm into it. Let's go on. Mad Mikey Nichols, your boy. TMDK, Perth represent. How you feeling heading into that one?
Look, I'm not going to dog the boys, bro. Mikey Nichols, G1 champion. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
I won't hear anything different until we talk about Shade Haste. But like, but seriously, I'm really interested to see what Mikey can do here.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a fucking great wrestler, dude. And I think this is a great opportunity for these guys. I think they've probably managed to sort of sideways in with Aussie Open being out. and that's kind of opened up the opportunity for a couple of spots. And these guys are going to show why they're the Australian tag team for fucking ever. You know what I mean? Like, because they're great wrestlers. And I think we're going to see some really interesting matchups with him as well. So yeah, I'm pumped for it.
I'm glad that they're in. I love TMDK.
Same.
Like, they're probably my favorite fucking faction right now. I'm sad that there's Godo's not in this one, or Coughlin or Gabe aren't in this one, just to set up a fucking title match down the line for TMDK.
Yeah, it's not even, or actually, it's not on the cards for Mikey, but it is on the cards for Shane. Yeah, because he's got Godo and Coughlin in his block, which is kind of weird. Don't you think that, like, maybe they both wouldn't have an opportunity in different blocks? For instance, like Mikey in the same block as Coughlin, and then Haste in the same block as Godo, something like that, where they could potentially set up a couple.
Or Mikey in the same block with Yoshihashi and Shane in the same block with Godo, so they can just fucking embarrass the shit out of them.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I wouldn't hate it.
Let's go on to friend of the podcast, Aaron Henare. Mm-hmm. You said that there's something on the horizon coming for Aaron Henare.
I can say no more, but I think Henare is going to make a splash this year.
God, I hope so, man.
And I think, like, if you listen to my interview with him and things like that, there was sort of like a lot of stuff supposed to happen with Henare before COVID happened. You know what I mean? Like, he said that sort of the things that would then go on to happen with Shingo and all that kind of stuff, he felt it was his time before COVID. Like, he felt like it was about time to pull the trigger, and then that all got waylaid. And now with everything that's been going on, he's reinvention and United Empire. And I don't know if you know this, but that man's a fucking star in New Zealand right now, dude. Like, he gets stopped in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird because it's like, sometimes people are like famous in wrestling and not known outside of it. And he's kind of known outside of it more than he's known in wrestling almost, in New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he's on the news there all the time. They're filming a documentary about him, or have filmed a documentary about him. I don't know if it's finished just yet. And everything he's been doing and the conversations been having back in his, his home country and what he's doing with, like, his people there and stuff like that. He's trying to make a real big splash and be a real positive influence there. So I think we're going to see some really cool things from him, and I can see them like pulling a major trigger on him in this. So I can see him being a huge upset. And that may be my bias coming through, but I would love to see, if we were going to see a dark horse get through from any of these blocks, I'd love to see like a Henare slip through into, like, the second place in C. That would be sick.
That would be fucking sick. And the thing about Henare right now, like you said, he's primed. He's been there for so long. He's built and built and built and built and hustled and hustled and hustled. And yeah, like with Tamashi and Oceania being such a big focus for New Japan right now, maybe it is time to capitalize on a little bit of that star power and fucking put Henare out front. And, we'll see what we can do with him, like, as this like ultimate weapon, this fucking giant ass kicker, fucking Aaron Henare coming in. And like, look at the matches he's going to have. Henare versus Ishii is going to fucking bop. Henare versus Tamatanga is going to fucking bop. Henare versus Eddie Kingston, I'm going to fucking circle that one, you better believe. And a rematch against Shingo.
Yeah.
Like, last time these guys touched, it was a 5-star match. It was the highest rated match from WrestleMania weekend.
I know, which is crazy. And people still underestimate
Henare's the draw,
dude.
buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you, like, once he has his first match back, people will be talking about him. I can guarantee you that.
Awesome.
Yeah. I can guarantee you.
Fucking in.
You're not going to see it coming, but yeah. So yeah.
Keep an eye on Henare, guys.
Absolutely.
Eddie fucking Kingston, the Mad King. Where are you feeling about Eddie Kingston coming in?
It's interesting. I didn't expect him to be coming in as a defending champ, so that's really interesting. I loved his match with Kenta. I thought he showed like a lot of fire. If he could keep that up for like the entire G1, I think we're going to see some fucking cool shit out of Eddie Kingston. He showed a lot of emotion in his presses and stuff like that. And it's a lot of effort to keep all that up. But, he's going to be the strong champ here. So I think, you're going to have to watch for like who he's going to beat, because he can't fucking take L's to everybody in here. Plus he's a defending champ and he's an AEW guy. So he's going to be booked pretty strong at the fucking block, to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me if he was a finalist, If you were going to pick potential losses that he would take to set up strong title defenses, who would you be thinking?
Let's take an El Hanare to set up a strong defense in New Zealand or in Oceania somewhere. Mm-hmm. Let's take one against Shingo to set up a defense somewhere in America. And let's take one against Ishii to set up one in America as well. Or Tamatonga.
What about Finlay? I could see Finlay wanting to be like a double belt boy.
Yeah. I'm not down on that. I don't think that match, that's not one of the ones that I'm looking at like circled,
Mm-hmm.
Finlay, like we'll go into Finlay now because he's the next person up in my list.
Mm-hmm.
Finlay is definitely the person I'm least interested in Bullet Club right now.
Really?
Like through and through.
Wow.
I love the War Dogs.
Uh-huh.
I love the fucking, they're like belted up fucking LA Dojo boys. I love that shit. And Maloney and my fucking boy Dan Maloney. Come on. And they're being led by David Finlay, who I'm like, yeah, see, he's good. It's fine. I like the enthusiasm I had for him heading into the New Japan Cup has just
really
plummeted.
That is interesting.
I hope that I'm wrong.
What do you think has
turned me around in the C block?
What do you think has happened? Because the flatness that I'm detecting from you about Finlay is kind of some of the flatness that I've been exhibiting when you're talking about like Gorillas of Destiny and stuff like that. So what has happened to make you flattened out a bit on Finlay?
Nothing has happened. That's it.
That's like, kind of par for the course for fucking Bullet Club leaders, isn't it?
Yeah, like I mean, we've had BOSJ, but like I feel like David Finlay should have made more of a splash instead of winning the Never title. Like the Never title is definitely not very high up. Should he have been world champ? Maybe not, but like, come on, man, he needs something. Like, who was the last Bullet Club leader who wasn't a world champion? Which was Prince Devitt, who became a world champion, in WWE.
Yeah.
So like. That's somebody who's got fucking star power. So like when you look at David Finlay, maybe it's, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
It's valid. It's valid. Like AJ, like kind of debuted like straight into that like world champ slot, and they went to never with him, So that is interesting.
Jay got a fucking, when he jumped to Bullet Club, he had a huge impact right away. Kenny built the fucking, story that got New Japan all the eyes from the Western world, as leader of Bullet Club. So, I mean, like, he is building a fucking team of badasses and I love that team. But like, at this point, I'm reading the X-Men for Colossus and Wolverine and not for Cyclops.
Nobody was ever reading it for Cyclops, bro.
Tell me Cyclops, but he's not fucking...
Scott Summers is a dork. But except for in Age of Apocalypse when he had the long hair, that was badass.
Hell yeah.
Riddle me this though. So David Finlay raids the LA dojo for all the fucking boys, right? And then the title he goes after is the one that Shibata made famous. Like, is there something to be said for what he's doing and who he's targeting? You know what I mean?
This is not what we think is going to happen, but what we want to happen. Do we want to see Shibata come back and get the Never? Hell yes, we do.
Yes.
Fucking yeah, boy.
Well, I mean, he's raided his entire class. Like, look at all these kids you've built. I've fucking taken them all to me. And your fucking legacy is dust as far as they're concerned. And you know what else you fucking made you famous in New Japan? The fucking Never belt. And guess what? That's mine now too. So it's like, what do you even have here besides a brain in a box? Like nothing.
Yeah.
You don't even wrestle here. But a caddy
yeah,
ever.
he doesn't even fucking wrestle in Japan, so who gives a shit?
Exactly.
If they do wrestle, it'll be on New Japan of America, and you'll have to pay fucking $30 for it and watch the fucking show. In addition to the fucking,
it'll be a fucking 0 hour on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Oh,
all right, moving on. Fuck,
that's the fucking worst case scenario.
we did do best and worst case. Here we
go. Well, let's look. Okay, so let's set up some never defenses for David Finlay real fast. Who do you want to see him lose to set up some never defenses?
I don't think he's going to take many losses in this block. I would say Shingo would be the main one I would circle. Hanare would be a good one. And
Hanare would be a great never champion.
And I haven't.
I think he'd bring that fucking fire. So Shibata set up that fucking never belt as like the badass belt, the ass kicker belt, you know, like that was his thing. Take all comers and fucking kick them in the fucking mush.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Hanare could do that same thing with Shibata.
Absolutely.
With the Shibata belt, you know?
Yeah. I would be into it. I would absolutely be into it.
And you know that he would fucking feast. He'd be like, bring everybody. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Just fight everybody.
He'd have these fucking ass kicker matches. And you know that he would put every bit of his heart and soul into that because he would respect what that belt means.
Yeah. He's said for a long time, like if you look back at old Hanare interviews, like he always said the never belt was like a huge goal for him. So yeah, we'll have to see. Quick note before we jump off the C block, Evil and David Finlay. They do have a headline match together one of the nights. What do you think that means for House of Torture and Bullet Club, if anything? Just nobody talks about it. Regular match, nobody discusses it. Yeah. Move on.
Maybe that's where the official House of Torture Bullet Club split comes from. Or maybe Finlay becomes impressed by the way that Evil gets ass kicking done, like gets wins. Like it's not his flavor, but he's still getting the wins. He's still bringing bodies. You know,
that could be it. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a couple of different ways that could go there.
Yeah.
I
think there's an opportunity for story there, but as far as the match goes, yeah, I'm probably going to be fast forwarding through a lot of that.
Double speed on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So best case scenario. Worst case scenario for the C block.
Worst case scenario for the C block. It's going to be Evil, and I did have Eddie Kingston because I kind of am not even convinced he's not going to be injured and make it all the way through. But let's see, over this conversation, I've since talked myself out of it, and I'm going to go Tama Tonga just because I'm a bit flat on him at the moment. And I need to see more.
I'm gonna ask for a substitution there. Mm-hmm. Can I put Ishii in there?
Worst
instead of Tama Tonga as a worst case, because like, okay, yes, we love Ishii. He's, but I don't see a fun match for him after the G1, like against another person in another block. Like it would just be another fucking match. It's not, I mean, and it might be a fire match, but like going into it, I wouldn't be like, this is going to be fucking killer.
All right.
I'll
give it to you. I'll give it to you for the same reason that you let me have Yoshihashi. I will give you that because it's not super exciting.
All right. And best case scenario out of the C block.
Well, I did have my 1 and 2 is Finlay and Hanare, but you've really come down on the Finlay scenario for me. I still want Hanare as number 2. I just feel like a lot of story is based around Finlay, and I think we're going to see him be quite dominant. And I kind of like the idea of him coming across Ospreay down the track.
Okay, I'm into it. I'm into it. Like as long as they can do something with him, because right now, like I said, he's the least impressive person in his fucking group.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, let's go with that. I still think that when I look at those names, I think Finlay and Hanare are my 2.
Okay.
But I would swap out Shingo for Finlay with enough prompting, but I'm still into the idea of the new Bullet Club.
I'm into the idea. I just don't care for the person running it yet. And that's not to say that I don't. I'm going to say a big yet. Yet is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on there. Like I was really into it before New Japan Cup, and then I thought he was going to make some noise. I thought he might win the New Japan Cup. Like we were fucking down for it. He could be where Sonata is right now, but it was Sonata instead. It's fine.
Twas.
And then we had he won the Never Belt. And then we had BOSJ, so we don't see him for at least a month there. We haven't really seen him anywhere else since then, except for leading the War Dogs out there who are going out and bringing bodies and bringing gold. I hope that this can refire him.
Yeah, me too. I think he's going to be trying to do a lot of damage. So, and I think you'll probably see like a lot of his boys around and stuff. So I think his matches could be interesting.
Let me ask you a question real fast before we leave C Block. Over under 1.5 G1s left for Tomohiro Ishii. Is this his last G1 or does he have more in the tank for them?
I think he'll do it till they physically restrain him.
So you're going the over?
I'd go the over. Yeah, I could see him going again. Unless we saw, I feel like we've seen more deterioration from my girlfriend than we have from Ishii physically.
That was going to be the next one because he's coming up at the top of the D block. So let's go into the D block. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, Rafe's girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
The man smells good. He gives fantastic hugs.
He does.
I bet he would take you on a date to a beautiful seafood dinner.
Seafood, gross. He knows I don't like seafood. He would never do that.
You don't like seafood?
No.
You're Australian. You live on a fucking island.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Okay. Well, he would take you to a nice, I don't know, curry house or something. It'd be great.
Sure, I'd be fine with that.
And he would definitely call you the next day.
Of course.
He respects you.
We are already living together.
How do you feel about Tanahashi heading into the G1?
I'm a little bit
fully committed.
I'm a little bit concerned after Forbidden Door. Because see, for me, Tana's normally getting into fucking fighting shape and, holding himself together with hairspray and fucking
promises.
Yeah, promises and, my hugs.
Love energy.
Yeah, love energy. But I mean, his match with MJF was good, but I just his one with Swerve wasn't, and I just kind of I wonder whether he's starting to drastically slow down. I'm really not sure how he's going to look in this.
It's become really noticeable.
Yeah, and so I'm concerned. But you know what? He's such a fucking hero. He might just turn around and we're like, oh, why do we even doubt? He just gave us fucking, constant bangers and now he's in the finals. You can't fucking write the man off. So I have great hopes he'll be awesome, but I'm not convinced he's going to be a finalist.
Yeah, about this time, like you say, every year you see pictures of him on social media where he's flexing and showing off, and stuff like that. And then we just saw him 2-3 weeks ago, and he had a fine match and he had an okay match. Yeah, dude, I will never count out big spot Hiroshi Tanahashi. But if there is a time for someone to just put him in his place, now might be one. You could get a big decisive win. Someone like Jeff Cobb could get a big Hiroshi Tanahashi early in the show. So could be a thing. I don't know, man.
Be a thing. I'm checking his.
They're about
mid-level
Instagram
right
mid-table in the. His first match is against Zach. Zach could fucking run through Tanahashi, do a knee match, and then that might
hamper him for the entire
be Tanahashi's story is overcoming this knee match and stuff like that. Zach get a big decisive win right away. Could be a thing, man.
There's every chance that that's the way it's going to go. I'm looking at his current, like I should go check his Instagram because like you said, normally around this time of the year, he's shirtless and showing you his abs and everything like that. It's not as much that. It's big chest lead, but he's wearing a t-shirt the whole time. He's got the guns out, but he's not really super flexing. So, yeah, I don't know. I do not know. So that's Ace Watch.
Over under 1.5 G1s left for Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I think there's more chance he doesn't go again than Ishii not going again. But
that's a good point.
But it's the Ace. You know what I mean? Look, I've got to see him in this.
It's the Ace.
He might just fucking kill it, bro. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, oh, it's Forbidden Door. It's fucking MJF. Who gives a fuck? You know, like, I need to save myself from G1.
AEW title, like.
Yeah, but it's not, though. Is it? It's not really for the AEW title. You know? It's the first match, and MJF comes out calling New Japan an indie. You know? Like, it's a fucking gaga, like, USA wrestling match. So we'll see.
Yeah, I guess
we
you're
will
right.
see, my man. We will see. But there's some.
All right.
I know this is a weird block for me.
It is a very weird block. So yeah, next up is we've got Hiroki Goto, IWGP Tag Team Champion. Okay, he's not going to win. He might pip someone and get second in the block, but like, do we care?
No.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it being cared.
No.
Next up, Toriano. He certainly is Toriano.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he fucking pull the wool over their eyes in this? Does he get a big scalp in this one like he normally does? He usually gets one a year. Who could it be?
That is a good
Naito?
question. Yeah, he's kind of done that to Naito before, though, right? And Naito is fucking the roll-up master at the moment. So I could see maybe like Jeff Cobb, ZSJ, like one of those, maybe.
Yeah, could be. Could be. I mean, like, it's going to be whoever's like leading in the block. He's going to catch somebody slipping right at the end of the tournament. So it could be anybody, really.
Exactly. Maybe ZSJ.
Tetsuya Naito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Might be ZSJ.
Yeah.
Tetsuya Naito. Like, might be having a resurgence here. Like, his story with Sonata is definitely like, might be Naito's block to win. It might be Naito's tournament to win, setting up Sonata versus him at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that is a scenario that I hadn't played out in my mind. I'm not sure it's a scenario I like, but it sure could be a scenario. Maybe there's legs in that, like as a headliner. If you're going to keep the belt on Sonata, is that a drawing match? Is Sonata versus Naito a big deal?
Well, I mean, Sonata's been going through everybody else from LIJ. He's gone through Yota Tsuji. He's gone through Hiromu. Like, we could do a thing where he takes on Evil, like, between here and there. God, did I just put that in the earth?
I mean, Evil isn't in LIJ anymore.
He's not, but he's former LIJ, and they were former tag team champions.
Yeah.
So the story, you know, it just could be a thing that they do. I'm just gonna be on the lookout for that. I think maybe this might be Naito's year.
Yeah,
Sleeper pick.
I think so. I think he could go really deep in it as well. He's not like my best case scenario, but I think he's a real chance to go quite deep in this.
Definitely. How about ZSJ, Zack Sabre Jr. coming in as the NJPW World Television Champion? Like, I saw him last night. He looks in great shape. You can definitely tell he was in America because he's got the TV tan going on. He's looking stacked. He's looking good. He's a blonde bombshell. Let's fucking go. Zack Sabre Jr. Who do you think he sets up some matches for?
Not many. I reckon he's going to go pretty fucking undefeated in this, to be honest. I think because he is like, you know, a bit of a tournament specialist. And he tends to just get caught out towards the end. So I could see him going quite deep here. I could see him maybe dropping a fall to Shane Haste and like doing it into TMDK defense. I think Jeff Cobb is probably one to look out for. I don't think their business is done in any way. So I could see Jeff Cobb catching him and setting up one more match, and maybe that's the end of Zach's run as TV champ at that point,
Could be. Definitely could be. Their match is towards the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's kind of smack in the middle.
Yeah.
But they might catch a good one there. They've had they've had two matches for that belt, or just one?
Two. They had like a draw and then a Zach win.
Draw and then a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might do the Cobb win after the G1, which I'm not against Jeff Cobb with that belt. I think if Zach could move up to a new belt, maybe take another shot at Sonata, that might be fun.
Don't hate it.
I'm into it. I want Zach as world champion real soon. Let's move on to Shane Haste, Perth boy. Go ahead and do your thing.
Shout out. Perth boys represent. What?
Shane Haste, G1 champ.
Yeah, exactly. Shane Haste, winner of the G1. I think we're going to see good things from him. I don't think the New Japan fans have really had a chance to see what Shane Haste can do. And I think as well, like even at the end of his WWE run, people talk about his flapjack time and stuff like that and just forget how good a fucking wrestler he is. So I think this is going to be a real opportunity for him to shine, especially in this block, because he's going to be one of the most physically able, if not most physically, athletically able guy in this entire block. If you run down him,
this block's full of horses, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tanahashi is kind of, carrying decades of wear and tear. Naito is not exactly on his best legs anymore. Goto's a dad, taking it easy. ZSJ is what he is, but he's not that type of wrestler. Yano is what he is. Jeff Cobb is like an absolute horse, and Coughlin is again as a unit. So Shane is going to be like the most athletic guy here, and I think he's going to show that in a big way. And I think he's going to show a lot of his charisma. So I think it's going to be a good coming out party for him.
I love it. I think I'm looking at this match, or these dudes, though. I think this might be the beefiest block, because Tanahashi, he's not who he used to be, maybe, but he's still a fucking hoss.
I don't know. You might be forgetting the previous block, though. It's pretty unity as well. When you start talking,
that's
Ishii, Tamatonga, Shingo, Hanare, Kingston, Nichols,
Kingston. Yeah, that's true.
They're both pretty hossy, really.
I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb, how do you feel about Ichiban Kaiju?
The Imperial Unit is my favorite of his nicknames.
Unit.
I like Jeff. He could very well be a finalist in this block. I think his trajectory is a little bit more based around ZSJ at the moment, though. But he'll have some good matches, and he'll have some big upsets as well. I don't know how deep he goes, but he definitely could.
All right. And next up, the Deadeye Dreadnought, Alex Coughlin.
What a nickname that is. That's
everybody.
Sick, yeah. Something deadlift on Instagram.
Something deadlift. Let's fucking go. How many people does he deadlift and throw into the sun?
Not that many, because they're all pretty big dudes, but there's definitely some people that will be targeted for sun trajectory. I would say
the moment is going to be when he straight picks up Jeff Cobb like from his knees and puts him in a fucking vertical suplex. Is like, people are going to take fucking notice. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to see that match. Two beefy boys doing beefy boy things. It's going to be fucking rad.
What's the fucking WCW fans are going to roast me, but I don't know or care. Is it the jackknife? What Goldberg's fucking move that he does? Jackhammer, that's what it is. Jackknife is fucking is like Diesel or fucking Undertaker or somebody's powerbomb. But yeah, the jackhammer when he fucking does that on Jeff Cobb. Holy shit.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be real awesome. I fucking love Alex Coughlin and Jeff Cobb and Shane Haste and Zack Sabre Jr. and Naito. And Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I think you're going to have a good time with this block. Yeah, absolutely. I think the way it's going to shake out with the way we've divided up the days for G1 Wondering, I think I'm basically covering A and B, and you're basically covering C and D. So I think
I'm into it.
You're going to have a good time with that. I think those storytelling blocks, and there's a lot of people you love there. So I think you're going to have a good time.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Let's go with our D block worst case scenario. Who you got?
I have. This was actually kind of hard because I sort of like everybody, and nobody's really a super worst case here. But I went Goto and Coughlin purely based around not dogging the boys, and so like I couldn't dog.
What does that mean? I heard somebody say, "Don't dog the boys."
Yeah,
and
it's exactly what you think it would be. Just don't dog them.
Obviously, I won't.
Don't
dog
give
the
them
boys,
dog
then.
treatment. Don't treat a fellow boy, dogly. And so, like guys like Hanare and Nichols and Shane Hayes, they're all, closer boys that I would not dog. I don't really actually know Shane Hayes, and I've only met Mikey once, but there was still proximity close, so I'm not going to dog those boys first and foremost. But then also ZSJ Team DK, that's a bit of proximity. I've drank with Toru Yano a few times. He's a wonderful host. Goto looks like a great dad. I'm dating Hiroshi Tanahashi, and fucking Naito is LIJ, so you can't dog any of those boys. So it really just came down to limiting the ones that I like less than the others. So Goto and Coughlin are the only boys left.
I can't allow you to put Coughlin on this list as a worst case scenario. Sorry, buddy.
Who would you?
I'm gonna have to use my once per podcast veto.
This is bullshit.
And put in.
Who you put in?
You've already got Goto, right?
Yeah. Nice try.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Whatever. Fuck it. Alex, I fought for you. I love you, bro.
No. Right. You get to pick another one. That's fine.
It's okay. It's not Tanahashi. No. That's for sure. It's not Naito. That's for sure. Toru Yano, maybe, but he never makes it out of the first round. They're not going to make him a finalist.
But I mean, if
Zach, I fucking love.
Yeah, I mean, if you were talking worse though, I hate to say it, but do you want to see more Yano matches in the finals? That would be the out I would give you.
Yeah, I don't. We're gonna put more. Goto can dog the boys in the worst case, and Yano is going to join him. He can have more time to be a host and just be a gracious host.
Remember that Rafe did not say that. Rafe loves Yano's hospitality.
Did not say that. Rafe loves Yano.
Curtis said that, not me. So I
think after 7 matches of Toru Yano, I'm not going to want an 8th match. I'm going to say that was good. Thank you very much. You've done your job. You were good at it. He's very good. He makes me laugh sometimes.
Nearly all the time.
I don't want him all the time, almost all the time.
But there you go.
Let's go to best case scenario for the D block. I'm interested to see what you say best case scenario for the D block is.
I'm going to say ZSJ is best, is 1. And, actually, is ZSJ 1? Hang on. I'm doing my maths real quick. Actually, I'm going to swap it. Fuck it. I gotta back him in. 1, Tanahashi. 2, ZSJ.
Tanahashi ZSJ. And this is what
really
just. This is not what we think is going to happen. This is what we want to happen. You want Tanahashi to be 100% all go, no quit, big nuts, poofy hair Tanahashi.
Absolutely, I do.
Fucking go.
Fuck yeah. That's what I want. And do I think these two will be the fighters? Probably not. I do think ZSJ will do really good and probably be a finalist. I think probably Naito will be. We've talked about that. But if my best case scenario, fucking Tanahashi all the way. I like to fucking talk you into a Tanahashi fucking title run and convince you that he should be at Wrestle Kingdom again. So
I do.
Every year we go through this. So
let's look at this. Let's name each block for what it's going to be known for. Single word for the A block.
Okay. I've been calling it the baby block, but I guess
babies,
rookie
kids.
Block, rookie? Baby block works. Let's just go with that.
All right, let's go to B block.
That's the hero block.
Hero block. I dig it. What about C block?
That's the fucking
beef block.
Yeah, the beef block. Yeah.
All right. And D?
That was kind of the more story block for me, but
that's the story block.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we've got kids, hero, beef, and story.
Baby hero.
Baby. I dig it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at
the baby hero beef story. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is it worst case from A block takes on worst case from B block or C block or D block, or how does that go?
So the way it works is quarterfinal 1 will be whoever came first in A versus whoever came second in C. So if I'm doing
first in A,
yep, first in A,
second in C is going to be Sonata versus Ishii.
Okay, and
Sonata versus Ishii.
Okay, and in that, Sonata wins.
Sonata wins. I will remove Ishii's name from the thing. Okay, next match
is the best, like number 1 of 2 versus number 2 of D.
Number 1 of A?
Yeah. No.
You said 1 of 2.
Sorry, I've written it weird. 1 of B versus 2 of D.
1 of B is Yoshihashi versus Yano.
Okay. For me there, it's going to be Yoshihashi. He's never once poured me a drink. Not once.
Oh, so we're taking Yoshihashi out. Okay. Next up.
Well, that's what I mean. Yoshihashi is still in it because he's a
he's
a worse case scenario than Yano.
I see what you mean. I thought you were going Yano over.
No.
Okay. Next match.
So first of C versus second of B.
So we've got Evil versus Tungaloa.
Evil
going through. Okay. This is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario. Okay.
What's next? Let's go. First, is that all the
first of D versus second of A?
First of D versus second of A. So we've got Godo versus Hikuleo.
In this, I'm gonna go to. Hang on, just doing this real quick, just seeing if my maths works out here properly. So winner of 3 versus winner of 4. No, that's not going to work.
Carry the 2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just seeing who. So who was it? It was
Godo versus Hikuleo.
That's bad. Hikuleo.
Okay, Hikuleo moving on. Godo is done. All right, let's do that same thing for our best case scenarios here.
Do you just want to see this through and do like the semi while we've got the maths here? We'll just see it all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works just fine.
So yeah.
All right, what's the next one? So now we're on to the semis.
So the semis will be the winner of 1 versus the winner of 2.
Okay, so it looks like Sonata versus Evil? No, Sonata versus Yoshihashi.
Yep. And I would have Sonata go through there.
Sonata going through. All right. And then finally we have Evil versus Hikuleo.
And I've got Evil again.
Evil going through?
Yeah.
Evil pips Hikuleo?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just saw what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing here.
So the G1 final.
Say it out loud.
The G1 final is new, sweet, handsome baby face Sonata.
Yeah.
Versus House of Torture Evil.
Okay.
Who wins in your worst case scenario?
Oh, do I have something cooked up for you here, Curtis?
Oh, please.
Imagine this.
Hold on.
Because this is.
Here we go.
This is a title match. This is the final.
I've got the seatbelt on. Yeah. Let's fucking go.
So this is a final.
35 minutes at least. Let's go.
Final 60-minute time limit. 1 hour draw. Sonata versus Evil. And at the end, they realize they're better as friends. They reunite their tag team and they create the ultimate faction, the House of Guys. That's right. They join Just 5 Guys and the House of Torture together. You already guys. Fuck yeah. I'm actually into it.
Go the fuck to jail.
It was so bad. It's so bad. I can see the merch. Like, I'm fucking into it. They're all living together. They're paying less rent. It fucking works out sweet, bro. There's like 10 dudes in the house, 9, 10 guys.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
Yeah. You like
Why
it,
do you gotta
don't
do
you?
this shit to me?
The House of Guys.
You said you had something special cooked up. I didn't know.
How evil I can really be. You already guys.
You already guys.
It fucking writes.
Just 5 houses.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. The House of Guys.
Sounds like a restaurant.
I've come up with some evil shit in my time, but that's fucking next guy. Credit to my wife. We came up with that together. She was fucking, I had an idea, and then she was like, there's no way the worst case scenario isn't Evil versus Sonata. And I'm like, and then they draw, and then they join their factions, and then we just fucking spitballed and we were pissing ourselves.
God.
Yeah. House of Guys. It's a thing. We'll get the merch printed on the Okada Shorts fucking page.
House of Guys.
Yeah. There you go.
If anyone out there wants to draw us a logo for our House of Guys t-shirt,
I would love to see it. I would absolutely love it. You would make it. If Positive Wrestling Fan wanted to make me a full action figure set of the House of Guys, all 9 guys, that would be fucking awesome. I think it's 9. I think that's right. I think there's 4 House of Torture members.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Togo, Show, Pimp, and Evil. Yeah.
So it's 9 guys. But not to be confused with just 9 guys. That would be wrong. It's House of Guys.
No. House of Guys. House of 9 guys.
Yeah, exactly.
9 dudes in a house together. Sounds like a frat.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet they throw absolute bangers.
They would. Show's got the fucking dubstep on nonstop.
God, that's gross. Oh, I hate everything you just said.
I'm so sorry.
All right. Oh, now.
I wish we'd finished with that. I wish we'd finished with it, and it was just mic drop. I'm not even going to give you the best case scenario now, so you've got nothing to look forward to and then leave.
Oh,
the call has been disconnected.
This is where we would awkwardly try to work in a fucking NordVPN ad, but we're not going to do that anymore.
No need.
Mm-hmm. No need. They don't want to do business with us anymore. Yeah. All right. Are you sure we don't want to do best case?
No, we're definitely going to do best case. So we've still got 10 minutes before I kill myself, so it's fine. Yeah.
All right. What's the math again on the...
Okay, so quarterfinals, 1 will be the first of A block versus the second of C block.
All right, so we got Yota Tsuji versus Aaron Hinare. Oh, yeah, that's a fucking
tasty,
match.
Isn't it? You like that? In that one, unfortunately, Tsuji comes out on top, but who better to fucking make his name off than an absolute fucking weapon? So that's hot.
Absolute weapon.
And I mean, Hinare's gone quite deep at that time and then just ran into, the next big thing.
Gets Gene blasted.
Yeah, gets his ass blasted. Gene's blasted fucking out of his
Gene's
body.
Fucking blasted.
Yeah, that's what happened.
What's the next match?
How funny that Gene blasted was our fucking highest rated episode of all time. That's what Ryan was saying in the numbers. This is the fucking power of the Gene Blast people. Quarterfinals 2 is whoever came first in B versus whoever came second in D.
All right, so we got Osprey versus DSJ.
Yeah, that fucking turned out hotter than I even realized. In that, I would say Osprey goes through, but that's a fucking tasty speed bump for ZSJ to get pulled up on.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Next up
is quarterfinal 3, which would be the first of C versus the second of B.
So we've got Finley versus Okada.
And in that, I'd have Okada going through.
Okay. And the final
is quarterfinals 4, which will be the first of D versus the second of A.
Kiyomiya versus Tanahashi.
And in that, that's fucking so much better than how I had it originally. In that, I'm going to have the huge upset of Kiyomiya.
Oh man, that would be a scalp. That would make sense too, because maybe that's what Noah they were like, we want Kiyomiya in like a fucking look like a star. Okay, how about he beats the fucking ace?
But see, this is then I'm going back to what I think could happen, where I'm not really booking what I want to happen, which is convince you that Tanahashi can fucking win the entire thing. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to go with, I'd be very happy with Tanahashi there. And to be honest, like I said, I'm not all the way feeling he could do it this year. So when I've passionately ranted for hours and convinced you to my way of thinking in the past, I don't truly believe it in my soul this year. So it's not as easy to do. So
that's fair.
Though it would be fucking sick. Could you imagine fucking the Ace just does it one more time at Wrestle Kingdom, takes it from Sonata's fucking cold dead
so fucking good
hands. That'd be tasty.
So fucking good, man.
Okay,
although this character that they have for Sonata would have something cooked up. He'd have something cooked up for the fucking.
Then I'd end up seeing fucking Sonata beat my hero. Nah, fuck that. So this is best case scenario. It's best he gets nowhere near Sonata's bullshit. So Kiyomiya goes through.
Okay.
Okay. Then
next
semifinals
up, we got into the
so it'll be
semifinals.
The winner of quarterfinal 1 versus the winner of quarterfinal 2.
So that would be Tsuji versus Okada.
No, it would not. It'd be Tsuji versus Ospreay.
Tsuji versus Ospreay. Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry.
Ospreay gets his
the actual.
Yeah, no, I've got it. I did some homework. Tsuji gene blasting at Ospreay for the first time, and I have Ospreay going through there.
Ooh, that's gonna be fucking rad. Okay. And then we get Kiyomiya versus Okada.
We do. And Kiyomiya wins.
Oh, shit. Okay. We're calling upset time.
Don't you reckon this is a testament to how well they fucking did with that angle? That, like, I am not a Noah fan. I've watched fuck all of this dude's shit. I've only seen him in a handful of matches, most of which are just him getting the shit slapped out of him by Okada. Yet I'm like, put him in the fucking finals of the G1. Let's go.
Get him all the way to the finals. Yeah. Him versus Ospreay. Dude, oh my God. How many feathers?
So many feathers.
Jackets. The ring jackets in this fucking final would be so sick.
They're going to have to bring in a whole new class of young lions just to carry out all the jackets.
Oh, it's true.
So then Ospreay versus.
Let's rename our podcast to Ospreay's jacket.
We might have to. We'll see how it goes. But I think it's going to be then Ospreay versus Kiyomiya, and then Ospreay, and then going on to Wrestle Kingdom. And so I'm a little bit.
Ospreay wins.
Yeah. And then Ospreay wins, and then that sets up. Kiyomiya gets his win back on Okada, but sets up the inevitable, rivalry with them. And then Ospreay's on to fucking put Sonata in the ground. Hooray. But the only thing is that makes that maybe too unrealistic for me is like a New Japan going to put like a foreigner with a current up in the air contract and a Noah guy in their final.
Probably not a Noah guy, but I mean they've done that with Kenny before.
Well, that's true.
He was a
Ospreay's well and truly proved his loyalty in, I would say, more than Kenny ever did. He kept coming through all that fucking pandemic stuff when he could have just gone, hey, what's up, AEW, and just gone. He saw it through. I will say that, like, that scenario there, maybe not Kiyomiya winning, but that is pretty much the only way you get to Okada and Kiyomiya is the semifinals. That's the only way, is that both of them get that far. They can't meet in the quarters. Like with the way their maths lines up, because their blocks are too different. 1 and 2 don't meet again until the semis. If they win,
and then we get them setting up at. No, okay. How about we don't get them setting up at Wrestle Kingdom? Kiyomiya takes his win and heads back to fucking Noah with it. I got your scalp. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Then Okada he just can't take it. He
can't let it go.
Kiyomiya.
Yeah.
Can't let it go. He fucking goes shithouse on every young kid in New Japan first.
Mm-hmm.
But worst on Shota Umino.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shota Umino is like, Okada fucking every time I see him, he's fucking beating my ass and I fucking can't get it. Daddy Moxley can you come and just beat the shit out of Okada at Wrestle Kingdom? And we get Okada Moxley at Wrestle Kingdom.
I mean, it does feel like Mox and Okada have unfinished business. But I mean, it makes Shota look like a bit of a bitch that every time he's in trouble, he just calls on Mox to come deal with it. He's like, my feathered pants are all ruffled. I'm
going to say, if the fucking spicy pink boots, fit, fucking wear them.
If the 100 glow sticks around your wrist fit,
yep,
dole them out into the crowd and call in, yeah.
I'm going to say, I ain't never seen Shota Umino wear fucking shorts.
Maybe
Moxley wear shorts before.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That's kind of all you need to know, people. We'll let you think on that. Well, that's it. I think we have a lot to look forward to. I think there is so many opportunities in this G1 for so many different scenarios. Even best case scenario that I just laid out could just be fucking in the wind. You know what I mean? Like, I had best case for A, I had Suji and Kiyomiya. Those two could not even be in the conversation. It could be fucking Sonata and Umino, like it could be, Sonata and Narita or Narita and Umino. Over in B block, it could be Okada and Ospreay. It could be Okada and El Phantasmo, Will Ospreay and El Phantasmo, Great Okada. Fucking Tai Chi could be a fucking upset in that block. It could be, Okada gets knocked out in the first round. It's Ospreay and Tai Chi through, and then Okada's all fucking pissed off and starts slapping kids again just to make himself feel better. Over in C, there's
so much.
Like, I really would love to see like an upset and see Hanare get out of that block. That would be so cool for the time he's been there. But seeing Shingo like put him through instead of Finlay or whatever in some of those finals matches that you can have, like with him meeting Ospreay again or running into a Suji or a Kiyomiya or a Sonata or something like that, Tanahashi winning the whole damn thing, looking like $1 million, no problem. That would be pretty great. Like, there's so much to work with. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
So many different storylines could be coming out of here. We've laid out just 2 scenarios.
Yeah.
There's so much that could happen. This is such an exciting time. It's gonna be a great time. It's funny because every time we have these conversations, you come in, you're like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling this, and then by the end of the episode, we're both fucking pretty hyped on it. So it could be really great.
I think I'm always feeling G1 and feeling stuff. I think I'm just not always feeling recording after work or before work or things like that. It's more to do with my fucking hectic schedule. And it's not even that I'm not feeling like recording. It's more like I'm not feeling like being conscious. Like, is the issue. But
I want to go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It always bounces me back. You know what I mean? So it's always good to get in here and have a chat. So we will log off now. We will thank everybody for listening. Mm-hmm. I'm going to, for those of you who have not had an opportunity to check out the Hanare interview over on Faces and Feels, I'll drop it in the Okada Shorts feed as well. So don't fucking go too far because it'll just pop up for you, spoon-fed like always, in the Okada Shorts folder. That'll be fine. I don't know why I'm being such a prick tonight, but we are the International Wrestling Grand Prix. We didn't even do our intro again.
I'm your good friend Curtis Spears. That's your bad friend Ray.
I'm really a bad
time
friend.
To have you tonight.
God, it's midnight and we're doing the intro to the show now. Fuck me. Dude.
So we got 2 hours of podcasting left to go. Let's go.
No, let's not. You know what? You have an amazing time in Portugal. Fly safe.
Dude, it's going to be great. My cousin's getting gay married. We're going to fucking go and celebrate their love. It's going to be amazing.
That's it.
It's going to be so cool.
Congratulations.
And I'm going to sit with my fucking toes in a beach.
There you go.
Under a fucking umbrella.
Yeah.
I bought a brand new book to go with. I'm going to fucking read that. Let's fucking go.
There you go. Just do some hardcore relaxing, my dude. You guys have deserved it. You've got to work very hard. I know you've had lots of saving to do for everything that you've got coming up this year, so it's nice that you get a holiday. So have an amazing time. Be safe. Get back safe and sound, and you'll be rewarded by some great G1 action. I don't know how the fuck we're going to find the energy to fucking overcommit and record our own episodes for every single one, but we'll get it done like we do every year. We'll also by then have fleshed out what we're going to do as far as our tipping goes. And I'll put that in the first episode of G1 Drink so people know what we're doing, because we'll undoubtedly be in contest with each other in some way.
Yes, sir. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for listening. If you enjoy our particular brand of whimsy and you want to hear more dick jokes free of charge, please check out our sister shows, the Faces and Feels cast, where Rafe interviews people like the United Empire's own Aaron Hinare and other great independent wrestlers, and really gets a glimpse into their lives. You can also check out my other show, Throw and Dice Podcast, where we talk about tabletop wargaming, tabletop role playing, and all the hobby within that. If you'd like to hear from our sister shows, Hot Friends, you can check out all the other shows on the Count Out Podcasting Network. If you would like to hear our other show, Drop Your Shorts, which comes before this one. It didn't today, but most of the time it does. You can check up, and that's where we talk about our lives and things that are going on with us. It's a little bit of bro time. Mm-hmm. You can find that on the Count Out Patreon. It's patreon.com/countoutpod. And follow us on all the fucking social medias, including the brand new Threads thing that I think is the new Twitter clone that we're all going to start using instead of fucking Twitter.
I've never even heard of it, which sounds about on brand for me, because I didn't hear about Twitter till fucking it had been a thing for like 10 years. So there you go. So maybe I'll get on the cutting edge of that nice and early. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening every week. Thanks for helping our little show grow. We really appreciate it. And you guys know what to do. You need to rate, subscribe, listen or die, keep it right, keep it tight, and most importantly, keep it what?
Sure. Tell your friends. G1 time.